Good evening. and welcome to Insperience. Invite you to keep the eyes open. Taking this quiet time to reflect in my own company. It's in quiet time I can allow the thoughts to slow down, letting go of the pressures of time and roles, pressures of expectations, pressures of keeping up an image. And that is why I invited one try to experiment with this solitude with their eyes open. Because I want to learn to be in my inner world, where I can observe my thoughts and feelings, where I can see reactivity, where I can see this inner world within me, patterns of thinking, I want to understand who I am, understand myself. And when I can see my inner world with clarity, then I become inspired to transform myself. And so that I am not at the mercy of ever-changing scenes around me, ever-changing scenes that I have really no control of. And yet I don't want to have the lack of control of my own thinking, my own sense of peace. That's what this quiet time is for. Understand myself and to go deeper underneath all of those patterns, underneath all of the dynamics of image, worry and stress, expectations of myself and others. I want to go underneath all that to discover what's real, So, in this quiet space, wherever I am, because it's just me in my own company, no need for show, no need to prove. It allows me this breathing space. No need to feel I need to output anything for anyone. And that creates a space where I can let go very naturally. It's when I feel I have to prove myself, live up to certain expectations, whether inside or outside, that I feel restricted, I feel pressured, where I feel I cannot let go. And so, in this quiet space I've created, this inner space, where there is no ticking of time, no roles, off the stage of the show, where I can just be. And that in this state of just being, letting go to be, it's a sense of freedom. Doesn't seem like a lot is happening, but in that letting go, I recharge. And in this recharge, I don't have to think a lot or sort out anything. Just allow this quietness to envelop me, this inner stillness. This quiet time is a very unique quiet time. It's actually not just about quiet time, not just about a peaceful experience. It's a space I create for me, the being, to emerge from behind this image that I'm so used to. For me, the soul. Me, the living being who's sitting here listening with these ears. Me, the one reflecting, learning to reflect in quiet time, very much alert and awake. But learning to consider that my real identity is a living being, a soul. That's who I really am. And the very essence of me is that I am a spiritual being. And this quiet time is like time in which I can recharge. And this stillness that I feel is my true nature emerging. The way a wound, if you allow it time and ideal conditions, that wound will heal. When I'm in this quiet time, this stillness, this silence, there is a lot that can happen in this silence. And that's very natural. Because as a soul, truly as a soul, originally, I wasn't colored by the temporary. I wasn't colored by things that are limited. Originally, my sense of value has nothing to do with anything physical. Originally, I didn't have to prove anything to myself and others. And I wasn't defined by anything physical. Because all that is physical is temporary. Can I realize that as an eternal being, a soul, I had identified with that which is limited, an eternal being identifying with that which is temporary. I can start to understand my journey then. From feeling unlimited, I've slowly began to feel restricted, unknowingly. And so this quiet time is very unique. I want to remember who I really am, feel who I really am. I'm an eternal point of consciousness, a guest inside this body. The story I've had in this body isn't the real story of who I am. And just to realize that, to sit with that, helps me to become free. Helps me to understand all these patterns within me. Understand my inner world, what has happened. Allows me to step back, so to speak. To appreciate my journey and what needs to happen right now to honor the real me. To return to who I really am. I used to be a living being, living the experience of life, seeing through the eyes, hearing through the ears, experiencing through the body, in a state of freedom, with respect for myself and others, completely full, completely content. Where my sense of value was anchored in being a soul. This outer exterior, this costume, this body, just a vehicle in which I experience life. And that's what this quiet time is for. Remembering who I really am. Feeling who I really am. I am a soul. And I am eternal. I just sit in this quiet yet beautiful awareness. Because in this awareness, I really do heal all the things that influenced me. So much can happen in the silence with myself. This is real silence. When I remember I am an eternal soul, when I am in reality, then very easily all the details and the drama of life They feel very small. I don't have to come up with ways to cope, to try to manage how I feel. When I remember and feel reality as an eternal being, I then feel I am an actor. I feel I am off the stage of acting. So all those roles, all of the things I would try so hard to free myself, I don't have to do any of that. When I remember and experience who I really am, a soul, an eternal point of consciousness, living consciousness. I, the soul, a guest in this physical world. And then I can actually see with understanding things in the past, things been said, mistakes made by myself or others, where they come from. I can see all that in a second from a place that's very free. And when I am free, how I see things, how I feel, how I respond is so different. And I can sit in this space with the one soul who is always in that state, outside of the drama of the temporary. And then I can truly be useful to humanity. The very silence in my mind and how I feel, and my vision of myself and others. So different. Yet the only thing that can truly heal a world that now seems to be so heated with fear and anxiety, misunderstanding. When I remember who I am, feel who I am, live in that state of reality, others will feel that fragrance. It's what everyone needs right now. Real peace, real freedom. It marks the end of this evening's experience, but encourage you to continue in this awareness of what's real, who you are. It's so needed at this time, not just for protection, but it is the call of the time. So thank you to those who've joined us this evening. We welcome you to return in 5 minutes on the same channel for our Thursday's Raja Yoga Essentials. And what we were experiencing tonight, this is the essence of what Raja Yoga is about. This transformation of remembering who I really am. Very relevant, has always been relevant. My sense of identity. So thank you again for joining us. Otherwise, our next experience is on Saturday at 1 p.m., followed by Inner Fitness. And the topic for Inner Fitness for the Saturday is well-being. Have a good evening. Om Shanti.